This is NDTV. And you're watching Ndtv-Hindu.
A very good evening and welcome to the show. Another big step forward for ISRO even as we speak. Of course, they have successfully launched GSAT-12 into orbit. Again, another big step forward. Again, a very proud moment when an indigenous satellite was sent into space with an indigenous launch vehicle or PSLV. Proud moment these. Scientists and Indians across the world are rejoicing, and of course, Bertala, our reporter, will be joining us from our location of the launch site, Sriharikota, barely 60 kilometers from Chennai. She'll be joining us.
Good evening, I'm Bertala joining you from Sriharikota, and I will be giving you all the details about the launch of GSAT-12 in a short while from now.
That's right, Bertala. We'll come back to you for lots more on this very proud day for Indians the world over. But first, a look at stories, top stories at this hour. GSAT-12 mission is a success. ISRO launches a new communication satellite into space with an indigenous PSLV rocket.
PSLV C-17 GSAT-12 mission is successful.
Sun Pictures COO gets bail in one case but is faced with 3 more. Another bail plea has been adjourned to Monday. Shakil Akhtar, top cop in Tamil Nadu, recounts the horrors of friends caught in 26/11 attacks. Says that fight against terror will continue.
So it will never create a sense of fear that makes our thinking stronger.
AIADMK's official nominee to Rajya Sabha, journalist and anchor turned politician Ravi Bernard, is elected to Rajya Sabha unopposed.
I'll be eternally grateful to this generosity, and I will work with all my efforts and heart.
And an inspiring tale of a scavenger being blessed with education and working towards rehabilitating others. And don't let your creative juices flow onto your car's number plates. Keep it straight and simple, orders the city police. Well, let's also take a look at buzzing stories from across the nation. Opera House CCTV footage shows 3 to 4 people talking on the phone for 90 minutes at the same spot. Sources also say Indian Mujahideen sleeper cells may have been activated. Home Minister says all groups are under the scanner. Politicians descend on Mumbai after the blasts, but does India want to see them squabbling over terror? The story of a diamond merchant who was maimed in the Mumbai train blasts, who could have been a casualty at the Opera House blasts. Now the FBI is probing allegations that Murdoch's paper hacked the phones of 9/11 victims. Virendra Sehwag will miss the first 2 tests versus England. Since he's not fully fit, MS Dhoni says India will miss Viru. Well, right on to the top story. Sriharikota, India's leading spaceport in Andhra Pradesh, was a scene of excitement and jubilation after the successful launch of the 1410 kg communication satellite GSAT-12. The satellite was sent accurately into the orbit with a powerful indigenous version of Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle or PSLV C-17. In what scientists described as a textbook launch, the launch vehicle witnessed liftoff at sharp 4:48 p.m. Now, this was the 18th successful mission for the PSLV series of launch vehicles or rockets. Now, the GSAT-12 is a communication satellite which will augment the capacity of the INSAT series of satellites launched by India. Equipped with 12 transponders, the satellite will help make advances in the fields of telemedicine and tele-education.
So, PS2 stage performance normal. Will be separated at 186 seconds.
I'm extremely happy to state that the PSLV C-17 GSAT-12 mission is successful. The launch vehicle injected the satellite very precisely into the intended orbit.
Well, as those visuals indicated, indeed a very proud day for ISRO and for India. Now, for more on that, let's go across to Bertala, our reporter who's joining us from on location of that launch site, Sriharikota. Now, Bertala, indeed, we've seen that this is indeed a very proud day for Indians the world over. But why is this launch, this satellite launch, so important when we look at it in terms of ISRO's space program?
PSLV C-17 GSAT-12 is indeed a very proud satellite for the Indians and the Indian scientists as well. And what makes it so special is the fact that this is the first time ever the Indian scientists have used the PSLV launch vehicle to launch a satellite which weighs 1.4 ton, which is usually done only with the GSLV launch vehicle. So they were taking a chance here after the repeated successive failures of the GSLV satellites recently, and they didn't want to take a chance regarding the PSLV GSAT-12 this time around. So they went ahead and they were quite confident in this area of using a polar satellite launch vehicle. So they went ahead and they took a big step here, and that increased the confidence and boosted their confidence level to a very, very high scale, Ashmit. So launching a satellite which was 1.4 ton of weight in using a PSLV launch vehicle, it's the first time it's happened here, and that makes it very significant in the Indian space history.
Right, Butler, again a very significant step forward. But when we talk about the satellite GSAT-12, how will it really augment the capacities of Indian communication? It is designed as a communication satellite. How will it help us?
As you have mentioned, this is a communication satellite, and to add to that, it's the first ever communication satellite in Indian soil. So that makes it very, very special here, Ashmit. The satellite has 12 transponders with C-band. So it will be very useful in telecommunication and communicating with one another. But there are also other significant uses that this satellite will be having for the society. That is, it will be used in telemedicine, tele-education, village research centers, and the most important here they mention is disaster management. They say at this hour this is a very, very important step here, not just to connect people on the communication basis, but also to be prepared at all times to face any kind of situation. So they say this satellite is going to look at all these aspects, and that's going to be good here.
Right, Butler. So again, multiple applications there, which of course brings us to the next question. The ISRO is believed to have a very healthy pipeline in terms of future such launches, in terms of steps forward in the space program. Give us a picture of course, what the scientists are telling you about the coming couple of years and what we can expect.
The ISRO scientist and the chairman here, Mr. Radhakrishnan, clearly said that the next PSLV is on its way by the end of this year itself. But what they are looking at now is GSAT-10. Now, as I mentioned earlier, with the successive failures of launches through using the geosynchronizes launch vehicle or the GSLV, they are now going on to deep research in that area, and they want to build their confidence level in that one aspect as well. So they were mentioning that by 2012 June they will be able to prepare this GSAT-10, and they will be able to test it, and if it's going to be a success or not is something that we have to wait and see.
Right, Butler, thanks a lot for joining us from Sriharikota and sharing with us all those details. Thanks a lot. Now moving forward, the Chief Operating Officer of Sun Pictures, Hansraj Saxena, who was granted bail in the case filed by Salem film distributor, cannot get out of prison just yet. Another case that still holds has kept him at the Pural prison. Sun Pictures COO Hansraj Saxena's bail plea in the case filed by film distributor Shanmugavel was adjourned in fact to Monday by the Principal Sessions Court. Now moving ahead on to more developments from the city. There have been protests by advocates belonging to the DMK against Chief Minister Jayalalitha's visit to the Madras High Court on Saturday to lay the foundation stone for the Alternative Disputes Resolution Centre. Now immediately after the protest by the DMK-backed advocates, the AIADMK advocates wing gathered in large numbers to protest against the DMK. Now, the DMK-backed advocates said that it would not be proper for the Chief Minister's part to attend meetings at the High Court campus, as some cases are still pending against her. The AIADMK-backed advocates shouted slogans against the DMK chief during the protest. Now, AIADMK's official nominee to the Rajya Sabha, A. William Rabi Bernard, was elected to the Rajya Sabha unopposed today. Today being the last day for the withdrawal of nomination for a single seat vacated by AIADMK's KV Ramalingam who became the state PWD minister. The certificate of election was given to Ravi Bernard by the Assembly Secretary AMP Jamaluddin in the presence of Chief Electoral Officer Praveen Kumar, who is the supervisor of the elections.
I pledge today that I will be eternally grateful to this generosity, and I will work with all my efforts and heart to fulfill the dreams and the hopes my leader has on me.
Well, the Madras High Court today ordered the state government to give a 1 lakh rupees compensation to the family of Amul Babu, who died in police custody at Cuddalore prison on the 3rd of August of 2009. Now, following a petition filed by Amul Babu's father, Palani, the court ordered 1 lakh rupees to be paid as immediate compensation to the family of the victim. Now, the court also asked the government to submit a report on the custodial death in 3 weeks' time. And well, if you are one of those with a yen for fancy number plates for your vehicle, be warned, the police are not amused by your flight of fancy and you may well end up paying a fine. Especially if you show off your fancy number plates on networking sites by uploading pictures, because the cops are on the watch on Facebook as well. Vahita Devi brings us this report. You may be a fan of James Bond or even the boss, but having them on your number plates is stirring up the police quite a bit, and with good reason. Fancy number plates are illegal. So if your number plate is 8055 and you paint it to look like the boss, then you are in trouble.
Regarding this number plates and all, we are driving heavily. For this year, so far we have booked 36,723 cases, and a fine amount of is being collected for 1,95,000. So enforcement on defective number plates and fancy number plates is being constantly enforced by our traffic officers throughout the city.
While traffic police say that they want it all in plain numbers, owners have their own take on why they flout the norms.
It is supposed to be a fancy number plate. Now can you please tell me, this is supposed to be illegal. Why are you carrying it still?
ரேஸ்க்காக ரெடி பண்ணுறது தான். ஸோ இது பெயிண்டிங் எல்லாமே பண்ணுறதுனால நம்பர் போர்டும் ஃபேன்சியாக பண்ணணுன்றதுக்காக தான் அது போடுறது. இது இல்லீகலாக தான்.
இன்னும் போலீஸ் பிடிச்சிடுவாங்களே.
நாங்கள் நின்னா தானே பிடிக்கிறது. நின்னா தானே பிடிக்க போகிறாங்க.
Clearly, this is a case of beauty versus the beast, and while owners may feel that jazzing it all up is the in thing, police say safety first, aesthetics later. In Chennai, with camera person Lucas and Sahai Raj and reporter Vahita, this is Ashmit Kumar for Ndtv-Hindu. And still ahead on the bulletin, ruthless terror attacks didn't discriminate, claiming lives of Hindus and Muslims alike. We take a look at two families united in grief on the other side.